Now, for each user to have his or own image different from the other user, there are various ways we can approach it. So we're going to take one of the ways so that when I come to John, John has his own picture, Rita, she has her own picture, and then this person also has his own picture, different pictures on each account. So let's go back to the code. Now I'm going to remove these for now because this is no longer. We're going to leave the src blank for now so that we'll now use PHP codes here instead of just using a static source for the image. It's going to be a PHP code that gets information from the database or from some PHP code. So the first thing we're going to do is to create a form field. So if I come back to the browser here, I want to create a form field down here under this password fields. This form field will allow us to go into a computer and then select an image to upload to this particular server. So let's get that. Remember, we're using Materialize CSS as the framework to handle most of the heavy lifting. So we'll have to go to Materialize website to get so let's say Materialize CSS. Let's go and get the form elements that will do that for us. This is forms, and then go to text input. I think it's under text input, and then scroll down to this text area and then file input. So this is what we're interested in, file input. So this file input, we're going to grab all this. We already have the form field, so we're not taking that, we're taking all this information. Again, CSS is not covered in the scope of this particular lesson, so we'll just grab that and then scroll down to the form. So this is the form field for the first part, for the second one. So everything we'll just copy now will come under here. Let me just quickly scoot everything back in place, indent it. All right, save that. So like I said, all this is CSS structure and styling and everything. All this is making everything look good. Let me just quickly go to the browser and see how it looks. Now this is our database. Looks icons. Aha, this is our form. Let me refresh that. So we have this. When I click on file, it takes it to my computer where I can now select. Let me go to desktop. We can now select any of the images to insert. So if I select this box icon like this, it becomes that. But let me do some CSS corrections here. I'll change the color of these and then just add a few classes just to make it look good and match with the theme we're using. So here I want to create column, then give it SQL so that I take up the full width of whatever it is. And this button is having this teal color, and that is off with the entire design theme and color we're using here. So let me change it to this color. It's going to be BTN, then BTN. Let me make it flat first. That's not BTN flat. Then give it that gray color and then a white text. Save that. Then refresh the browser. Good, we have that set up. Then I think I'll change this file to be an upload. I think that is more better than that. Then this is the actual input field with type of file that we're working with. And we notice it doesn't have some other properties. It doesn't have a name property, which is the what we're using to connect to some field which we will create later in our database. So let's give this a name property. I'll call this upload underscore password. Passport is okay. Sorry, I was looking at this. I'm calling password. So that's done. Then this particular div here is just this particular part that will show you the name of the file when you upload it, like when we did upload that box icon. So it just gives you the name of the file written here. So there's no need for us to style all that. I think everything we need to style is good to go. Look at it one more time. I think it's good to go. So that's the first thing we'll have to do. Let's just create this form field here so that this will handle the field that's coming up. Then the next thing we're going to do is remember that all this while we'll be handling information that has to do with that has to do with just text, numbers, and everything. So all this information filling up here is either it's a text or it's a number that's going to the database. But the first, I want to handle a file, a picture, or any document I want to upload to the server. It's not text, it's not numbers, it's actually a file. So we need to add one more attribute to this form so I can be able to handle it, and that is end type. So what this does is it just allows us to work with files. Basically, that's what this does. So I'm going to give it a value of multi-part form data. Again, all this does is just enable us to use this form field down here so that we can be able to handle files in our server. That's what that does. So I'll save that and come back to the browser. We won't see any much of a difference, just the whole thing is working in the background for now. So we have got the update button to change. We've got this our field here ready for us to use. So let's now write the actual PHP code that will now enable us to be able to work with dynamic images coming from the server or the database.